Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Debate with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Well, tonight a very important topic. We're talking the youth, we're talking the future, we're talking in investing in the human being. And under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, practical steps have been taken in order to integrate the young people today into the various executive bodies. His Excellency has always stressed the need to listen to the youth and to engage them within the different ministries and the government agencies and also in governorates and to provide them with all sorts of training. Today we have a very considerate number of our young cadres in leading positions in Egypt, and the political leadership believes in competence and their ability in order to make a difference. The young generation are assuming leadership in Egyptian posts today, in high-ranking posts as governors, as deputy governors. We find them also as very bright faces in our parliament. So initiatives has also been established, and we find more than one initiative that comes in order to support the youth and to train them and to take good care of them, namely the Presidential Leadership Program, the PLP, the different three pivots, engaging them also and preparing them for leadership posts, and also in sports and in culture, engaging them in the life in Egypt as a whole. And this is really one of the main fruits that are considered to be a backbone for achievement in the country, taking care of your youth and preparing them for the future. Tonight we'll be talking about reaping the fruit, and 2020 has been a very fruitful year for Egypt's youth. Previously, of course, it started the different youth forums all over the country, and the World Youth Forum that has engaged youth not only from Egypt, but youth all over the world coming to the country and experiencing a great and memorable experience in Egypt. Nile TV International has been covering that front on more than one level. So we're talking youth today and talking the future and talking optimism for the future and talking how the president had supported them, listened to them, and had really offered an example to follow for the different executive institutions in the country. On that topic, I have all the honor and pleasure of having with us Mr. Mohamed, who is the member of the Coordination Committee for the Party's Youth and Politicians. The Party's Youth and Politicians has been a very bright face in the country. They have been doing a lot. They have a great youth like Mohamed, very representative of Egypt, a great image to the world. Mr. Mohamed, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, and the honor is all mine. I would like also to say that I'm honored to be with you today in the program. You are a very, very bright example of women empowerment in Egypt, being the Undersecretary of the Media Authority and the President of Nile TV, and the honor is all mine.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much, dear. And 2020 has been a very fruitful year for the country. The youth have been really seen playing a very positive role. They are there, they are sharing. Even during the time of COVID-19, we found them around helping for the political life and the political transformation that Egypt has witnessed. We've seen the youth today engaged. We've seen the youth today well prepared. We've seen the youth today making a difference. So I guess this has been a very optimistic note for 2020.
2020 has been a very, very bad year to all the world, but despite that, Egypt has recorded 3.7 growth GDP, which was very, very unexpected, and all of that was to economic reform initiated by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. A part of that reform I would like to pinpoint, which was the SMEs loans. It was for 5% interest. It was aimed for youth. So youth on all sectors, investing in youth. This kind of reform created a better reality, even when the entire world is being abrupt due to COVID-19. But Egypt has been going through and has been helping others and been showing a great example, both internally and on the international front, on how a country can stay together, stay united throughout crisis.
Definitely, it has been, the actual representation of youth. We are always very proud of our youth today. The president is proud of Egypt's youth, and he pinpoints, always highlights the fact that they are our treasure, they are our future. We would find His Excellency at the different World Youth Forums registering himself the ideas that are presented by the youth, and following up by himself their implementation. So it's a great feeling to feel that you are listened to, and definitely this made a difference in the youth spirit and their sense of belonging to the country.
Of course, because patriotism is not only, you're not born a patriot, that's partial, but it has to be raised in you. It starts from your school, it starts on how you're raised in your family, on the ideas you believe in, and it really helps, it really strengthens that patriot sense in a person when they feel that their political leadership is on their side, that they are supporting them, they know you exist, they know what your problems are, and they're listening, and they're extending a hand of cooperation. If you work, you're going to reap. So President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has been a great example of what a leader can represent to the youth of a country. And that was following a part or a general age in Egypt where there was a lot of political unrest and a lot of political discrimination. So when you have a president that is creating collective agreement and collective cooperation, it was really good. It was really good to meet to meet our president and to talk to him and find him actually listening and registering and then announcing at the end of every youth forum what he's going to execute and what he's going to look into. It was great. It was great, and actually we've seen the faces of the important coordination committee for the party's youth and politicians, bright faces of youth. We've seen their sense of keenness on the country. We've seen a vision. Tell me more about the vision so that also our foreign viewers would know more about the coordination committee for the youth parties and politicians, and also the plan of action today. The CPYP was formed following His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. His directives. Yes, it was. He made a sort of announcement that it would be great if we have a group of parties, politicians working together on agendas like dialogue, promoting dialogue, and creating collective agreement. Then us as youth, we actually collected ourselves and we presented the idea that we are gonna regroup and we are gonna organize and we're gonna submit the CPYP, or the Coordination of Parties, Youth and Politicians. The CPYP is formed of 25 parties, all of which are in parliament, and several political representatives. They're not a party, they're independent, like myself, and we aim to mainly for promoting dialogue, creating political agreement, and stretching what politicians can do, because politicians has always been stereotyped that they are people who only work on the street and they only appear during campaigns before parliament and all of that. But we decided to introduce the cadre of a politician, a statesman later. A statesman, a politician and a statesman. Yes. Capable of executing projects, capable of creating strategies, and capable of managing and leading teams throughout crises and throughout the good days, and I hope we will be able to reach as far as we hope we will, and as far as we started off when the coordination was established. Yes, from the name, the coordination, it means that we have many hats on. It means that there is a diversity. It means that we have brains on the table, and each in a different speciality. I know, for instance, Mohamed, that you are a pilot yourself. Yes, madam. And definitely there are different cadres and the different walks of life. You think this sense of diversity has helped and re-energized the party? It did not only help. Actually, imagine a field or a garden with different colors and roses, and this sense of diversity created dynamism. That's the exact word I was looking for. It created for myself. I am a right-wing politician. I'm all liberal and capitalist. But I find across the table when we are in a meeting, a left politician from, let's say, Tagamwa party, or or a social democrat, and basically both of us come from very different backgrounds. We have very, very unique identities and ideologies, but we always sit down in agreement of what is best for Egypt. And we compromise when we create a strategy, when we create a project, when we aim to produce some sort of work for our political work. We compensate. We come to middle grounds. We work as one team, and this diversity, as you said, this dynamism created better solutions. It created better projects. It created better achievements for the CPYP.
Definitely it did, and achieving those efforts and working on a vision. Today Egypt is witnessing an unprecedented number of developmental projects all over the country. The whole world would see through Nile TV International how this made a difference. The youth participation in that sense, and also providing them with incentives to share. We need that all the youth of Egypt would really feel what is being done and to share in that development.
First of all, it's not a one-way street. We always were listening, or we always were discussing what is the government doing, why are they not engaging. To be honest, governments are not supposed directly to engage, or you're supposed to do. It's an individual effort. You're supposed to set off, you start working, you start producing ideas, you start working on yourself, improving yourself. You try to go. There are constitutional ways and legally supported ways of introducing yourself to politics and being in leadership. You're supposed to follow this path laid by the Constitution, which is higher than everything and everyone. And you're supposed to do that with a sense of patriotism and a sense of commitment to your country and to your agendas and to your goals and your ideologies. So the government has been doing its part throughout World Youth Forums and several conferences for youth. Empowerment projects. For instance, there are 23 deputy governors and deputy governors in governments and governorates, and there are 2 governors. So the government has been doing its part, but it is your duty, it is your responsibility to take action, to work for your country, and to always improve yourself.
Mm-hmm. Opening new channels with the young is very important. Let us know more about their dreams, about their aspirations, about how they are thinking, about what do they need to become more engaged in the country, in your opinion?
The youth need to be more engaged on two fronts, mainly politics. Every youth should look into politics, either by going in attendance to political party meetings and seeing what party is close to his ideology and his ideas and to his agenda, and working with that party in order to set a political strategy for himself and for his party and for Egypt. Because youth in Egypt are lacking on this front. They do not participate in politics. Maybe in elections they did. The numbers were fair enough in the past parliamentary elections, but working in politics or being in politics is not only going to elect. It's actually by going and working in political parties and NGOs and volunteering yourself, volunteering your time for that. So youth are supposed to work on that front. Other front would be entrepreneurship. Youth need to get more involved with the market and the international side of business. How to improve businesses in Egypt, how to create new ideas, and how to make use of the digital age we now live in, and
yes,
promoting
definitely.
their businesses.
Yes, very important to be engaged in that respect as well. Well, we have more than one important component if we're talking about youth empowerment and also the ladies, how to empower them also to be a part of the decision-making process, and this has happened also in the new parliament.
Yes, new parliament, the law was passed that presentation of ladies empowerment cannot be less than 25%. So the municipality election law, by the way, which is 25% of 52,000. So imagine the numbers. We're talking 18,000, something like that. So women, and I do not call it lady empowerment. I call it the reality. It's a reality in Egypt. It's not an empowerment of a sector.
Yes, it's not a gender.
Yes, it's, for Egypt is formed of 48% ladies, and these 48% create 100% of what the society we live in now, on all fronts: business, homesteads, schools, on all fronts. So women in Egypt has been carrying this country since 7,000 years and shall continue to carry it further on legislative fronts and in governance.
Definitely it is, and well, we are actually reaping the fruit of a very important year for the youth achievements on more than one front. The president is backing the youth in order to attain their aspirations. The World Youth Forum and the National Youth Forum that has been held all over Egypt has contributed a lot in that sense of the direct engagement between the leadership and the youth. And it was very fruitful, this sense of dynamism, when you are there around at the World Youth Forum or at the different national youth forums. You could feel this positive vibes. It's full of energy and it's full of life. This report will be back.
أتوجه برسالة إلى قادة العالم أجمع. استمعوا إلى شبابكم، شاركوهم أفكارهم وأحلامهم. اعطوهم الفرصة للتعبير عن أنفسهم. حلقوا في سمائهم عاليا، اجعلوهم سباقين لا تابعين. سلحوهم بخبرتكم وبإيمانكم بهم. لا تتركوهم فريسة لمن يقتاد بطموحهم ويستخدمهم أداة لنشر العنف والكراهية. املأوا قلوبهم بالأمل والحرية والدعم الذي لا نهاية له. افتحوا لهم أبواب الثقة واعطوهم مفاتيح القيادة، فلا حاضر بدونهم ولا مستقبل بغيرهم.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed on the International Youth Day that the state is deeply interested in supporting youths to realize their aspirations. On his social media page, the president said, "On the International Youth Day, I voice deep appreciation of the promising Egyptian youths." The president said it is youths who drive their country in its sacred battle to achieve more development and overcome any challenges. President al-Sisi said that Egypt has always been keen to back youths to realize their dreams. Sisi's keenness on promoting youths and standing on the challenges besetting them has been manifested in organizing an annual youth forum, the World Youth Forum. 3 editions of this forum have been held since 2017. Meanwhile, Youth and Sports Minister Ashraf Sobhi said the Egyptian government is seeking to get youths to be more involved in social issues, with full support of the political leadership. He noted that many conferences have been held to give voice to youths in order to get them to vigorously contribute to handling social issues. He added that youths have launched several initiatives and innovative solutions to beef up state efforts to confront the coronavirus at the health, social, and economic levels. Sobhi noted that the ministry is gearing up to launch a platform for all-out youth activities, Kayani, soon, with an aim to serve Egyptian youths and further encourage them to join hands with the state. The United Nations in Egypt has organized an International Youth Day event in collaboration with its different agencies which work closely with the government of Egypt, in particular the Ministry of Youth and Sports on youth initiatives. This year, the International Youth Day was held under the theme of Youth Engagement for Global Action, to set out a call to young people to engage in global action for the public good. This year, the International Youth Day took place during an unprecedented global health crisis, COVID-19, the first pandemic that the world is experiencing since more than 100 years.
سويا على هذه الأرض، أرض مصر، نقطة تلاقي الحضارات. نرسل رسالة إلى كل شعوب العالم المحبة للسلام والتي تعلي من قيم الإنسانية. لا فرق بين عرق أو لون أو دين، فنحن هنا جميعا سفراء لها، ننبذ التطرف والعنف ونتخذ من اختلافاتنا دافعا للتعاون والتكامل لا للصراع والحرب. مصر التي وقفت وتصدت بحزم لقوى الشر والظلام نيابة عن العالم، واستبشر شبابها في الدفاع عن قيم الإنسانية، شباب وقف شامخا صامدا مدافعا عن شرفه وبلده، ليعلم البشرية كلها كيف يكون إنكار الذات وكيف تكون التضحية بكل غال ونفيس من أجل قيمة أسمى وهدف أنبل.
We're always talking about the youth and preparing them to leadership positions, and this is very important because we are working on the future. The youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. So what does it take, Mr. Mohamed, in your opinion, to prepare youth for leadership today?
You need to prepare, there are two parts you need to prepare youth through. First part will be actually to be ready for this, to be ready to achieve, to be ready to understand that you matter. You as an individual, you are the main component of this world. So every individual on his own has the right to make something of himself, to make something of his life, to show up for great things. And when people understand that, they understand that everything is doable. Everything is doable through hard work and through planning. So first of all, how do you put that into someone? How you put that into someone is through education, through proper raising them properly, knowing how to respect themselves, how to respect the community they live in, and that this community has a right upon them, and they have a right upon themselves to make something out of their life. That would be the first and the main part. Second part is by promoting the idea of success through better education, stronger incentives on the economical front into going into business and having a job, either by having a job or going into your own business. So that is mainly the way you promote youth. Of course, the Egyptian government has been doing great work through all of this, through the reform in the educational sector, through showing youth that our quality of life matters, removing the slums, better healthcare systems, killing hepatitis C in Egypt. And you like using the term killing hepatitis.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
And so there is achievement, and you can be part of it if you apply yourself.
Yes, part of it if you apply yourself and if you empower yourself, and today the state is empowering the youth. The idea of those gatherings, the National Youth Forum and the World Youth Forum, has been injecting vitality and life. And youth all over the country were very much keen to apply and share, and the whole world kept eyes on Egypt on this experience. I have been myself attending those forums and felt the positive vibes and was also very keen to talk to the youth in interviews, and I've seen impressions of the world youth about what Egypt is doing, and it has been great. We get out of this place with memories and with friends and with positive vibes and with hopes. I guess you have memories too concerning a very professional representation at this prestigious forum, Mr. Mohamed.
I had the honor to present Egypt in the forum several times. One of which I was discussing the importance of investing in the aviation sector and its gain or its gain on all of the economy or our national economy. I introduced a project on that day. The project was undertaken by the Ministry of Aviation, and they've been working on it since then. The project was on discussing how to lower fares and how to introduce low-cost aviation in Egypt. Another time I have represented, and that was a representation in the forum on an international level, because we had a model for the Union for the Mediterranean. With the presence and the attendance of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. We discussed the Union for the Mediterranean, which is a great achievement with all the countries throughout the Mediterranean basin and in Europe, a part of the Union. They've been working greatly on sustainability and projects related to energy and illegal immigration. I've had friends through the forum, on many friends from a lot of countries, and what's amazing about the forum is that you actually live together for a while. And after living abroad and seeing in media a lot of disturbances and a lot of good things on Egypt, you cannot decide unless you've been to Egypt. So you're in the forum in the morning, then chilling by the beach in the afternoon, then in the forum again at evening, and then going out. So you make friends, you make allies for the future. You meet a lot of very promising youth around the world that will be great people in their parties, in their political parties one day, in their countries. And it was an amazing experience overall.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, living this sense of life and vibes, what did they tell you most about what really impressed them while attending those forums?
The amount of organization and investment in the forum. First of all, when they came to Egypt, they are in a breathtaking location in Sharm el-Sheikh. They're in the middle of December, and it's warm.
Yeah.
And everything is simply great. Everything is well organized. The hotels, resorts are great. The forum itself is very highly organized. It's highly invested in. There is a lot of entrepreneurs there. There is a lot of business ideas and a lot of people promoting their businesses and their work.
Out-of-the-box ideas.
Out-of-the-box ideas. And again, when it comes to startup and entrepreneurs, I can say in the rooms, like all day, just listening to their ideas, it was amazing. The vibe was great. And when they left Egypt, they knew that what Egypt is. Egypt is capable of performing such events. Egypt has these breathtaking locations, and Egypt has promising political youth and has a very strong and considerate political leadership.
Definitely, and it left a great memory. They always want to come back, and this is what they told me also on interviews on Nile TV, that they are looking forward to come back, and that the experience has been great. Also, the African youth whom Egypt has trained through the Presidential Leadership Program, and I had all the honor of interviewing them on their graduation, as they graduated from the academy. They were very impressed of the course that they took at the academy, and how Egypt is today working for Africa, which is a very important front as well.
Egypt is an African country. Egypt has been a good neighbor to Africa, has been good with its allies on its borders throughout its history. Egypt is for promoting and for the development of all of Africa, and that was shown in a lot of projects. In Egypt's presidency of the African Union, followed by the South African, which we are in now, we've been working a lot on a lot of initiatives like silencing the rifles to stop the civil wars and spread of weapons throughout Africa, on connecting all of Africa with railways and roads stretching from Cairo to Johannesburg. All projects introduced, and they're undergoing now the execution part, because it's millennial projects, as they call it. And we've been creating a strong network of flights through Egypt to Africa, through Egypt, from the world through Egypt as hub, through Africa to ease travel in Africa and trade with Africa. And this kind of cooperation, this kind of investment in Africa is shown when the African countries now deal with Egypt. They deal with care. They care about what Egypt stands on, and how not to project Egypt to any kind of negativity in relationships with other African countries, and they're taking neutral points or going on Egypt's side, as the case with Sudan.
Yes, definitely it is. Well, we're talking about preparing the youth for leadership, and this is very important. We're talking about the new faces in the parliament of youth who are going definitely to make a difference and inject vitality, new blood, and also new thought, new vision. We're talking about also critical thinking, how to make the youth today be quite trained for this sense of critical thinking and having a vision. Does it need coaching? Does it need training?
Everything needs coaching and training. Even your job, even if you're very good at your job, on regular basis you need to to see your books again, study again, and train yourself again to things you do not do on daily basis. So everything needs coaching and training. Working in teams and soft skills are actually a very hard thing. To be able to work in a team and to be able to produce something out of a team and to understand how to be part of a team, either as the leader.
I'm really glad that you mentioned a team, because this is considered to be the main component of success. Each and every member of the team has a role to play. And whenever all those roles meet, then comes success.
Of course, that's how a team. Why a team is capable of doing much more than one person is capable, because a team has specialization. Everyone is specialized in something, and they are producing that something for the team. And being able to work in a team is not something easy. It needs a lot of training. It needs a lot of experience, and that needs a lot of people willing to train youth to do that. And there was the PLP, the NTA, the PLP, the Presidential Leadership Program, taken in thousands of young youth, and they're training them they're training them on various parts of governance and cultural and entrepreneurship sectors. The empowerment through them has been on great numbers. There are eight of them are deputy governors now. A lot of them work in a lot of ministries. Two of them are actually of the governors I've discussed earlier, and a lot of them are my friends. I know what they're going through and how hard the training is. I have like chapeau hats for them, hats off for them. And the NTA, of course, on the other side, more for the executive side of government. And that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we have also another dimension here concerning the youth, because in the dark days, I call it the dark days, they were brainwashed. And that's why came the sense of keenness, so that we would make them aware of what is happening and raise their political sense of awareness of what is going on. This is also a very important dimension while we're talking with the youth. They have to understand things. They have to be quite fully aware of what is happening, of the world changes today, of what Egypt is doing.
The tool of governance is communication. How you govern or how you lead people. That's starting from our president in Ittihadiyya to everyone in his house, in his community. How you lead is through communication. It's you communicate with people. So what Egypt lacked before the 25th of Jan was communication. There was no communication. Egypt was doing good on the economical side. Egypt was doing good as development goes. Not as good as we wished, but there was something to show for the old government. They never communicated their thoughts. They excluded everyone out of politics and politically led by themselves. Then came Woolworths afterwards. They didn't only not communicate, they took decisions solely based on what they think.
Yes.
And they fractured the Egyptian society into several parts. Everyone felt isolated, everyone felt alone, felt disarmed and disempowered.
Yes.
Through their governance. And I think His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, that's where he is very, very different. He communicates, and he communicates through goodwill, he communicates through good faith and through good action. Even his international speeches, he's very clear on what Egypt does and how Egypt reviews things. So this communication was shown in the World Youth Forum, and there is this
And
whole
His Excellency's speech is also at the UN, which
Yes.
was very vivid and honest.
And
Yeah.
honest.
Yes.
And you find that there is one part of one event of the youth forums and the international and all the dialogue and the forums created, not only the World Youth Forum, the one nationally held, where this Ask the President part,
Yes,
where you actually
very transparent as
Yeah,
answering the
so
question.
you find questions like taxes, which is like very hard questions to just stand up and start to talk about taxation and the increase in taxation or lowering taxes. It's very hard to speak out of the blue on these topics. You find on topics like business sectors and on other topics like very hardcore topics like let's say Libya and north of the Mediterranean. And he's there. He's just there, and he's transparent, and he feels a part of the government. He is not only our governor, he's not only our president, he is Egyptian as we are, and he feels responsible that we know, and we support him through all of this.
Yes, definitely. And the message reaches the people because when it comes genuine and transparent and to the point and clear, that's why definitely it becomes clicking right. Well, talking about engaging the youth today, we have youth as Deputy Prime Minister, we have Deputy Ministers, we have governors who are youth, we have Deputy Governors. It's a new vibe in Egypt.
Of course, and I will highlight the part of deputy governors and governors, because municipalities in Egypt are hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. They have been left unmonitored since
years.
ages, and they directly affect our quality of life. They are the thing most affecting to our quality of life on all of government. I have 6 friends, and I'm proud to say that, in the CPYP who are deputy governors. I've been with them on their tours. I've been with them through their work. It's hard work, and it needs youth. It needs the experience of older, more wise men in governance, and it needs the strength and the vitality of youth in order to achieve these plans and in order to introduce a new vibe into municipalities. And they're doing a good job. We hope they keep on doing this. We hope a lot more youth will be introduced into the governance or municipality governance, and I think that will be the thing we will feel most as Egyptians, affecting our quality of life.
Yes, sure. Well, Egypt's Parliament 2020 has witnessed bright faces of Egypt's youth representing the country who are definitely going to add a sense of dynamism to Egypt's Parliament and make a difference. Let's watch.
اعترافا من العالم بالدور الفعال الذي قام به المنتدى، اعتمد مجلس حقوق الإنسان الدولي في دورته 41 قراراً بعنوان الشباب وحقوق الإنسان، والذي يعد أول قرار أممي يتم فيه الإشارة إلى المساهمات التي قدمها منتدى شباب العالم في نسختيه الأولى والثانية. حجم الجهد في إطار حقوق الإنسان، كان في عندي 250 ألف أسرة موجودين بيعيشوا حياة غير آدمية على الإطلاق. ما توفر لهم الدولة المصرية 250 ألف شقة مفروشة. لما أقوم ببرنامج هو الأكبر على الإطلاق في العالم كله لعلاج الفيروس سي في مصر. احنا بنعمل إصلاح اقتصادي وإصلاح اجتماعي وإصلاح سياسي. احنا بنقود بلادنا بالأمانة والشرف والعزة عشان نعمل مجتمع يليق بمصر.
Egypt's youth are an essential component of the 2020 parliamentary elections, as candidates are put forward by the Coordination Committee for Parties, Youth and Politicians. The committee, a political institution that includes representatives of all political parties, proposes candidates both through the National United Coalition and individual seats. Since its establishment 2 years ago, the CPYP aims to grow political life and work with youth to put an end to the state of polarization and find common ground. YCC includes members of 25 parties. The founding of the committee coincided with the government's increasing attention towards the youth. The committee had a go at the Senate elections as well when the National United Coalition included 5 young people from the CPYP representing various parties. In addition, 7 members were among the 100 senators appointed by the president, so 12 youths are now part of the Senate. In the 2020 parliamentary elections, 28 youths are running as part of the electoral list and 6 are running individually. Candidates were chosen to run based on their efficiency. They have various specializations that will be in addition to any organization they serve.
Investing in the youth and the youth investing in high technology, smart intelligence, they have to cope with the pace of how the world changes today.
By 2050, 90% of blue-collar jobs will be computer-based, like programming and coding and all of that. So Egypt has to follow the path of more digitalized countries and starting working on a project called Future of Jobs, let's say, for instance, where you teach everyone how to deal with a computer, how to work through a computer, and through AI, how to work with AI, and that is the new field for jobs. Like I said, most of the jobs by 2050 will be through computers. Only 10% will be on the ground or handmade. A lot of people lost their jobs to AI and to robotics. Like the people in the retail industry, and so this is how we must prepare for this. We must prepare by introducing more or training youth more for the digitalized world coming.
Yes, preparing the youth for the digitalized world coming, and also hopes for the future. The youth always would need to feel that tomorrow is better, preparing them for planning for tomorrow and for their priorities for tomorrow.
That requires a lot of insight as well. You need to, as I said earlier, to make them understand the quality of how to succeed. And how to succeed is to actually start by believing in yourself. So you need to train people how to make better use of their time, prioritize make priorities on what to do, what not to do, what to delay, and how to be significant and how to be improving and have a responsibility towards your society and towards your community.
Sure. Well, talking more also about the plan. Every party and every coalition would always think of tomorrow, would always think of a far-sighted vision, short-term goals and long-term goals.
Yes.
If I ask you about the coordination committee for parties, youth and politicians, and a far-sighted goal, what would you tell me?
A far-sighted goal would be to actually create this dynamism you've said earlier in the political parties and make them reach more people, grow to bigger extents, and to provide Egypt with better legislative parliament, more involved into laws that directly affect people, better legislators, better statesmen, more trained, more experienced with political background, so they have both in them. They are capable of technical work and capable of economical planning, as well as politics, which is basically people management. Mm-hmm. So by providing these kind of cadres, we will be able to create, let's say, a team that will help and that will pull Egypt forward.
Yes, a team that will help, a team that will pull Egypt forward. Those are the youth of Egypt, those who are working day and night and who really want this country to become better. We all love this country, and we're really working day and night to make it better. The dreams of the youth are considered to be on top of the list. Youth dreaming of a better quality of life, dreaming of jobs, dreaming of having a family, and
Yes, of course, everyone.
and all those needs. And I guess also the civil society can play a very important role in that respect.
Of course, it's actually, when I say politics, I do not only mean politics, I mean volunteering or voluntary work. When you volunteer in civic society and you start working on the ground to make people's life better, you are doing your part and more towards your society and towards your community, and we all thank you for that. But when you do that, you must always have a plan on why you're doing it, what are your goals for the society in order to make better use of your volunteer work. So the dreams of youth dream of Egypt, I will always talk about mine because I'm not all the youth of Egypt, but I actually hope to see myself living in a country where the state of law is absolute, where my country takes care of me and I do that in return, and most importantly, that whatever I do and how I work, how hard I work, I can reap the fruits of this work. And I think we are on the path for that. Every day we are making progress in all of this under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. I hope that continues, and I think great things are coming.
Great things are coming with this sense also of creativity. And I love the word creativity. It became a slogan even of the National Youth Forums and the World Youth Forum. You create and you go ahead. Bringing this sense of creativity inside the youth, what does it take?
What you take is by showing them that it works. This system works. The system where you apply yourself and you present new ideas, where you go to work every day and you improve yourself. When you do all of that, your work can see the light. Your work can become a reality that helps everyone else. Things are achievable through hard work and determination. So how you make them believe in that is by showing them people who've succeeded, who've been dreaming of something, then they applied themselves, they started working and planning, and they did that very strategically, and then brought it into a product, and that product helped everyone else. So that's the way.
Mohamed, you are an inspiring model of our youth today, and one of our bright faces. And
thank you.
I guess maybe our viewers would love to know more also about, or even if you would give a sense or a piece of advice for the youth. When you have, you believe in yourself, and when you have a dream, go after your dream. I mean, was it your dream in the first place to become a pilot? Because it's not an easy job, it's not a conventional job, and how did you reach there? How it helped you? What sort of lessons could be from a life story of a pilot flying in air? It's a different job and it's a different dream. So it was a dream in the first place for you?
Of course. My dad is a pilot, so I've been living in a family of that was aviation concentrated, and I've always seen him in uniform. I've seen him flying. I've seen him.
So you have the vibes at home.
Yes. I've seen him through his adventures and his very unique job. So I took it upon myself that one day I will become a pilot. Actually, funny story. I was a student of American diploma in grade 11. I ceased studying for my SATs and all of that. I started studying aviation because I already done with my SATs and my selection exams and all of that. I was done with them and I started studying for aviation. Afterwards, I went to study abroad and I studied aviation and I applied myself. I hit very hard spots. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't always
rosy. It wasn't always rosy.
Sometimes I didn't do that good. Sometimes I just missed the idea. It was too much for me. I was 18 years old and I couldn't. Everything was so fast and so.
But you were after your dream.
Yeah. Next day I would go to sleep. Next day it starts all over again. I'm going for it, and nothing's gonna stop us now. So.
And this is the message, dear viewers. This is the message, dear youth. Be after your dream. Believe in yourself. If you have a target, go after that.
And dream for your country.
And dream for your country, definitely. Yeah. So, and it went smoothly later.
Yeah, of course. Then I found myself, it was a hard process. Training in Egypt is very hard. But I've made it, and I'm proud of where I am. I'm happy for my colleagues. I'm very, very thankful to all my teachers and everyone who helped me throughout the way, especially my father, of course. And that's the thing. On a political level and on a state's level, I would say that our political leadership represents that parenting throughout our president and his high levels and his leadership. So when you dream for yourself and make something out of yourself, you start to dream for others, and hopefully you start dreaming for your country. When you dream for your country and you start working for your country, you'll be prouder than ever. It's not easy. It will not always work every time. Nothing happens easily. Nothing moves smoothly. But after a while, you're just used to it. You know that's going to happen. And you always have a plan B and C and D. And you know how to pull out and attack again. So it works out. Everything ends up okay. And we've been around for 7,000 years and for 7,000 to come. So,
and forward ever, Egypt and Egypt's youth. I thank you so much. Our bright face, Mr. Mohamed Saedi, member of the Coordination Committee for the Party's Youth and Politicians, a very bright face of Egypt. Bless you and bless the efforts of Egypt's youth. Long live Egypt always.
Long live Egypt. Thank you very
Mohamed.
much. It's my honor. And thank you for all the team and for Nile TV.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dear viewers, that was this important file of the youth and the positive vibes of the youth and His Excellency supporting the youth, the backbone for supporting the youth. Forward ever, Egypt's youth, and long live Egypt. I'm Taghirit Hussein. Many thanks for watching.